Yes, it's House of the Dead time. Welcome to SwitchedOn Gaming. Paul speaking, and I know this is a game that has been eagerly anticipated for some time by Nintendo Switch fans. This is the remake of the original House of the Dead, and the guys at Forever Entertainment have licensed this off of Sega, however you pronounce it, I don't care. And yeah, they've basically remade the game. The original game is kind of lost in the archives, so they've had to rebuild this classic arcade light gun game. We're going to talk about, there's quite a lot to talk about actually, so we're going to play some game here, show you some gameplay footage, then jump back to the options, take you through some of the new things that have been added to this game. Talk about the controls, and I guess the controls are going to be what people are most interested in probably. I mean, as I say, this was a classic light gun game. Those games in the sort of the 90s, you had this, you had Virtua Cop, obviously Time Crisis, brilliant arcade games, and using the light gun always felt great, didn't it? You felt like a real badass in the arcades when you're wielding, albeit a plastic gun, but you know, great idea for games. Don't really see them on modern systems these days, just due to how the screens work and stuff. It just doesn't, the same technology isn't possible on modern screens, and I'll say right off the bat, unfortunately it is the case here as well. There is an option to use the Joy-Con as your gun pointer. Thank you very much, Beardy. Now your mileage may vary on this, but I have found it, to be honest, an absolute nightmare to control it with a Joy-Con. I think, to be honest, the developers have realised that, because they kind of hinted that they're prepared for a backlash about the controls. So just be wary if you're buying this with the hope that it's going to be a light gun game. As I say, your mileage may vary, so be prepared to sort of put in some time, practice time, but the main problem is that the cursor just drifts off of the centre of the screen just constantly, and I think it's, what I could work out from playing is it's due to the way the screen moves around, because it's an on-rail shooter, so the screen's constantly moving on its own. You kind of, it must be really hard to program in for the crosshair to stay central when the screen's shifting around so much, and so it proves. It just doesn't work. I mean, you can right click on the left stick and centralize the crosshair, but you're just constantly having to do it. I mean, I was clicking down on the left stick probably more often than I was hitting the fire button or the reload button. So yeah, slightly disappointed with that, but the good news is it has got gyro aiming as well, so, and you can use combinations of all of these as well, which is really good. There's one thing this game's not short on, its options. So I use a combination. I'm currently using the left stick. I'm using my Pro Controller, using the left stick to move the crosshair, and then you've got gyro aiming to fine control, so you can fine adjust for headshots and stuff. Also, if you click the left bumper button, you can turn off the gyro aiming, so you can turn it on and off whenever you want. So if I click in, I keep saying click in, sorry. If I click the left bumper button, my gyro aiming is now off, and I'm just using the left stick here, sort of moving the Joy-Con, the Pro Controller around. Nothing's moving on the crosshair. If I click the left bumper button, and when I get the control of my cursor back, and that's me now using the gyro aiming. I'll just move around a little bit like this. You can tell that's gyro aiming, and then I'm combining that with left stick. So I find this control really satisfying to use. I mean, loads of fun. Once you get over the fact that you can't use gyro aiming the way you probably want to, and just switch to using the left stick, it becomes almost like a first-person shooter. And then having the gyro aiming to sort of fine grain the crosshair works really well. So I've got no problems with the controls. You know, to be honest, I was kind of half expecting the gyro controls were going to be a bit ropey. They always are on the Switch. I don't think it does that kind of precise pointer aiming on a TV very well at all. All different sorts of games, not just shooting games, but you know, other games where you're using the Joy-Con as a pointer. You always have to be kind of re-centralising. It just doesn't work very well. So that disappointment aside, that's my biggest negative. And you know, as I say, your mileage may vary about how that affects you. To me, I'm more than happy to use the left stick and the gyro. And since then, as I said, I've been really enjoying it. It's such a good game. It's such a classic pick up and play arcade game. It's got absolutely tons of options in. So we're going to go back and have a look at those in a second. I'm just going to beat this boss. Obviously, we've got a weak point here. He's hit about 10,000 shots and missed it. Oh, here we go. Finish this fella off to strip him of his flesh. Be gone, foul beast. And there we go, that's the end of level 1. So I'm not going to do too much more, I don't want to spoil it too much, but that's the first stage. And you then move on to the next stage. Now, as you saw, as I was playing that, I was using continues. You get a set amount of continues to use at the beginning of the game, and then you can buy more continues for 5,000 points. It takes 5,000 points off of your total until you run out of points. When you've got no more points to spend on continues, that's when it's game over. Now we'll go back to the main menu here and have a look at some of the options. We'll start with the options actually. Loads and loads of options, as I say. So you've got loads of setup here. So the controls, aiming using the left stick. You can choose the left stick or right stick. Use the gyro, you can turn it on or off. And you can combine gyro with the stick, which is what I was doing. And then you've got sensitivity settings here, dead zone settings. Gyroscope control mode, as I say, when you press the L button, so you can toggle it or enable it by holding it down. You can invert the axis as well on the gyroscope, overall sensitivity. So loads of control options, and then there's your general overview of your controls. Display options, you can turn the HUD on and off, so if you just want a completely HUD-less game. Change the scale. So as I say, just so many options. Really good that they've put this effort in. Change all the different volume. Now this one's quite interesting. In the gameplay, you've got a performance mode. Now all it says in the press release is it enhances the FPS. Now it is a good point because docked, this game is 60 frames a second. Handheld is 30 frames a second. So I don't know if that increases handheld to 60. I'm really not sure, but it does affect something to do with the FPS. I've not noticed a massive difference, but again, your mileage may vary. Other stuff, got vibrations. You can display the ammo on the crosshair, which I find really handy. Turn it off, you just get a plain crosshair. Turn it on, you get how many bullets you've got left around the crosshair. Automatic reload. I mean, you could put that on if you want, but it'd make the game very easy. Different levels of aim assist. You can change your crosshair colour. And then all the options there for player 2. And then the game's available in different languages, so plenty of options. As I say, this was one nice new addition. We'll go into loading this one up and show you. This is the gallery that they've added, which is pretty cool, to be honest. Load times aren't too bad, but here we go. Kind of a bestiary. Is that how you say it? Bestiary. Of each of the creatures in the game, and rather interestingly, shows you. I mean, it's got a little bit about them, but shows you their weak points as well, which is really cool. And it tells you a little bit about their attack patterns and stuff, so that's really cool. You can then hide the UI. You can zoom in. You can move the camera around. Yeah, and you can rotate the models around as well, because all these models have been rebuilt in 3D. Allows you to do that, so really cool bestiary. And as you saw that, we can go to other areas. We've got achievements, in-game achievements, and I don't know what this was. What is this? Regular wardrobe. Okay, but we've got nothing there at the minute. This might be new outfits and stuff, but Nice little add-ons to the game they didn't have to put in, but certainly appreciate that. Then we've got a standard leaderboard. Now, interestingly, no scores on here yet, but I think you have to have a completed game to rank on the leaderboard. So you need to go all the way through, probably using some continues to get to the end. And then we've got overall statistics, loads and loads of stats. Again, pretty cool. If we start a new campaign, we can start on level 2, so that's fine. We'll do a little bit of that. Just want to show you here, when you pick your game choice, you've got the original game mode and you can choose different difficulty levels. Score mode, classic and modern. And there's a multiplayer mode, which you can play in co-op or competitive. And you both have your own crosshair on the screen, obviously. Now there's this horde mode, which I've not really tried yet, so we're going to dive in here and see what this is about. From what I've read, we'll go through the first level again. What I've read is 15 times more enemies on the screen, but it also allows you to unlock new items, so you can unlock new guns. Maybe that's where the outfits come into it. It sounds a little bit more sort of roguelike-ish, I don't know. Probably putting too much of a spin on it there, but yeah, it's a different sort of gameplay to the bog standard story mode from the arcade. So let's have a look and see what this is about. Let's skip ahead. So, oh yeah, this is 15 times more enemies. Oh, crikey. Wow. So controls wise, we spoke about the moving the cursor. If it wasn't obvious, ZR to shoot, ZL to reload. You have got different weapons as well that you can use with, I think it's left and right on the D-pad. It's not unlocked any yet. Jeez. Must be almost impossible to get through this game with so many enemies in it. Right, I might just let the continues run out and see what happens at the end. Oh, it's dead, not a mark on him. Ah, so it shows you how far through the grounds you got. Yes, I think you might need to go through that multiple times to unlock stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I could face 15 times more enemies. Let's go have one more little bit of gameplay on level 2. Do a little bit of level 2. We get a few more things going on in level 2. So look in the background, you get sort of crates to unlock. Boom! Obviously shooting barrels, explosive. You really got to make sure that you're conscious that you're hitting that reload button. Oh, my aim is awful. There you go. Get down. Oh, that was terrible. But yeah, there's plenty of secrets in this game. So like these pots here. Stuff in there. Oh. But yeah, I would just be looking to shoot as much as you can. You never know where a health pack or a new weapon's going to be. But going back to sort of the controls again and talking about this gyro, I think the reason that the crosshair doesn't go too far off the centre here is because you're constantly kind of centering it with the left stick, and it's relative to that. So you know you can kind of keep it self-centered, or you know at least keep it when the screen's shifting around. on the rails, you're kind of, you know, reacting with the crosshair and keeping it sort of central, and it doesn't seem to affect the centralisation with the gyro too much. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe they'll improve it, I don't know. I don't know what can be done, as I say, because a lot of these Switch games that use the gyro for aiming never really work very well. It's certainly, you know, not as good as something like the Wii was. Oh, hello, fella. There we go. So yeah, let me know what you think. I know, as I say, it's been a highly anticipated game. Everyone's been looking forward to this, I think. Just let the health run out here. I think everyone's been looking forward to this. It's highly anticipated. It is coming out on other platforms as well, but it is a Switch timed exclusive, so it's going to be on the Switch for a while, which is really good news. Quite cheap as well. It's not a full price game. You're looking at $25. And where are we? £22.49 in the UK, which isn't too bad at all. There's a slight discount on that at the moment as well for launch, so check that out. This is out on the 7th of April. Just the embargo is today, but yeah, check it out. Really good game. It's House of the Dead Remake. As long as you're not wanting light gun style controls, then I can highly recommend this one as some fun arcade shooting action. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment below. Subscribe if you're new. Super appreciated by all the zombies in this house. And I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.